my name is Olga and welcome to Ukraine Brides Agency. So strong and long-term relationships are based on reciprocity between the two partners. However, there is still the question of what compatibility between two people really mean. There is a small but very effective exercise that helps determine how much you have in common and which areas are most important to you in a relationship. So to get started, make two lists. In the first list, name all the similarities that exist between you. For example, it may be joint interests, relationships with the relatives, principles that you follow, and so on. The second list you need to make is of your differences. You don't need to list every small similarity or difference, but make this list as capacious as possible. And after that, retire and think carefully over all the points and try to answer the following questions. So, the first one is, what are your principles that remain resolute? In which areas of the relationship you don't want to give up? Perhaps you need to be with someone who essentially believes the same thing as you when it comes to your religion, spirituality, or maybe your non-negotiable relationship issues. Regardless of what you include in this list, the bottom line is that you write down the areas of your relationship in which it's not good for the two of you to be completely different. Another question is, which items may vary? Or in which areas of your relationship you can consider the possibility of lack of compatibility. These are points that are very serious, but you are open for a dialogue and can give in to your partner. And the third question is, what questions or points you are ready to discuss. Again, when you answer these three questions, you need to remember your list that you made up before, and to answer the third question, note the list of your differences. Are there items in this list that you are willing to close your eyes to? So we are not saying that you should ignore or minimize the main differences that exist between you, but we believe that many of these differences between partners often come down to minor issues that require cooperation and compromise. See how many of your differences can be negotiated. As soon as you answer these questions individually, get together and discuss your answers. Now you should have a fairly clear understanding of how much you have in common and to where you're very different. And you will be much better able to decide together how important these differences are between you. You may decide that the two of you are simply incompatible in several areas that are most important to each of you. If this is so, then perhaps it's time to seriously discuss whether to continue to invest in these relations. On the other hand, you may find that you have much more in common than you imagined, and that even where you're different, there is plenty of place for negotiation and compromises. In this case, you can continue to exert maximum effort in the relationship, knowing that you have a good chance to develop this compatibility and create something really special together.